are listening live to the Vito and Vito Show.
Disrespectful to the executive branch.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
Don't sign the damn deal, and the president will...
Therefore, I do not believe that the majority can vote a man's life or property or freedom away from him.
What are the 3 laws of robotics?
Number 1, a robot shall not harm a human being, or allow a human being to come to harm. Number 2, a robot shall obey any orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
And we're live here on the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
Yeah, I'm Vito.
We want to welcome everybody to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. We're on terrestrial radio. We're on podcast. What else are we on, Vito?
iHeartRadio.
Thank you very much. iHeartRadio, iTunes. Find it all at vitoandvito.com. www.vitoandvito.com. And in case you don't know what the hell you're listening to, allow my co-host to explain what it is that's infecting your ears.
We are bringing you the perspectives of 2 college-age millennial conservative libertarians out of liberal hellhole Brooklyn, New York. We're committed to defending the freedom, liberty, and individualism. We hold no punches on the show.
Yeah, freedom. That's what we're doing. Defending freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom. All right, Vito. The Democrats, for the past week, have been staging a sit-in.
Yes, they've been
in the House of Representatives. They are whining. They are complaining. They don't want to go away. They lost the House of Representatives, which is majority controlled by Republicans. Do not want to bring up a vote on gun control or what we call gun confiscation. We got a Democrat in the audience right now, so she's like cringing behind me.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, she passed out, Vito. She's down and she's not moving.
So the Democrats have been sitting on their asses all week.
Yeah, exactly. And pretty much they've always been sitting on their asses. So this is a normal day in Congress.
This is why they're called asses.
This is, yes, the big jackass.
Donkey.
This poor girl. I feel bad for her. We got a special person here in the audience, and you know, we warned her before the show.
She's not special because she's a Democrat.
She might be a Democrat, but every Democrat is special. But we didn't want to go ahead. We don't want to rip apart the Democrats too much here today, but... You know, we warned her before the show started that this was going to happen.
Oh, there's a warning label when you walk in on your ticket. It says, warning. We'll rip apart Democrats.
Yeah, we'll rip them apart. It's all right. It's all part of the business.
And rhinos.
And rhinos, of course. Any Republicans in names only, because we're conservative. And
like Lindsey Graham and a couple other Republicans.
Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins, it goes on and on. Republicans, Jeff Flake from Arizona, are switching sides, and they're joining the Democrats in trying to institute gun control legislation. We're going to talk about that. That was voted down. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court. Big rulings coming down, Vito, ginormous rulings coming down. They're turning around in the Supreme Court, and they have rejected Obama's executive amnesty. And this is huge news to those who want to defend the Constitution.
We need the applause sign so everyone in the audience can applaud with us.
We've hired. Okay, here's the truth. We have hired the live studio audience. We've given them free alcohol.
Yeah, we did not hire them. What are we, Donald Trump?
And who cares? It works, right? People still showing up at his rally.
Oh, great. Yeah, free pizza.
You leave Trump alone. By the way, you're never Trump. Want to set the record straight?
Yes.
I'm sure he'll find his way into a conversation tonight.
I'm sure.
You're never Trump. I am as pro-Trump as they come.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to build that wall, and you're going to do what?
I'm going to hold on to my principles.
You're going to hold on to your principles, vote for Gary Johnson, and have Hillary Clinton as the next president for the 4 years.
Well, I got to see.
The Democrat in the back right now, she's very happy. I'm not going to say your name. I'm not. We're going to use a different name. We'll use a different name. We'll use... All right, we won't use a different name because we can't think of a different name. All right, so we're going to leave it alone. But this is happening, Vito. This is really happening. Let's start with the NRA, and let's start with the whole thing going on right now. With gun control, Democrats staging a House sit-in. They're trying to sort of mirror the civil rights era. Remember how a lot of these African-Americans and those who sympathize with them were sitting in protesting Jim Crow laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was a good thing.
Yes.
Which was a good thing, and I think we all would be a part of that today, helping them out and trying to get rid of that
But it's just
hate.
the issues are different today.
Of course. You cannot equate gun... And, of course, they're reacting because of what happened in Orlando, the tragedy, and now they're trying to, put forth a bunch of plans. Like gun control measures. They say there's common sense gun control measures, which is total BS because that means they're going to go ahead and deny people on terrorist watch list, no-fly list, the ability to own a gun. But it's very funny that a lot of the people on that list include former politicians, current politicians, anybody without due process is sort of put on that list, and they can be denied a right to a gun that would contradict the Fifth, not to mention the Second Amendment, which would lead to, I would think, maybe tyranny?
Possibly.
Would there be a tyrannical state? It would be another
Possibly.
way to get around the gun control, the gun confiscation thing that we see in this country.
You see, these Democrats, the ones having the sit in the House and all in Congress, all these elected, beautiful officials we have, are driven by the media and these celebrities like Kim Kardashian West, who decided to tweet out that, can you believe mentally ill people can easily get a gun? Oh, and then we need gun control, this to save lives. They think people can own a gun is crazy. To think that you are a celebrity is even crazier. Okay? Kim Kardashian, listen, I tweeted about this at Vito and Vito Show. Check us out on Twitter. Kim Kardashian, okay, everyone's allowed to have their opinion, right? But some people's opinions are just stupid. Okay? Because after she decided to tweet about the mentally ill, people were tweeting at her the Constitution. The laws are saying that there's background checks and people who are mentally ill are not allowed to get guns. All these different things that people do not understand, and these are the people who vote in the Democrats.
Well, that's sort of what's happened, is that we see this sort of strain that goes on throughout, and it goes on both sides as well, but a lot of the times Democrats, in terms of what the elected officials are trying to do, they are reinterpreting an amendment that should not be reinterpreted. It's pretty black and white,
and they
the
have,
Second
yes,
Amendment.
and they have the power, not just the media, but the celebrities, like they're talking about LeBron James, how they want him to be a fighting force for the gun control.
Why?
Because of LeBron, because it's LeBron,
What
everyone loves LeBron, so if he says give back your guns, you'll do it.
Explain to me, what does LeBron James bring to the gun control argument? I'm dying to know. I don't even think the man owns a gun. He probably has other people to protect him to own a gun that would,
I have a feeling he owns
protect
a gun.
him with a gun. But I don't think he knows the first thing about a gun. We have also Democrats are fighting for the assault weapons ban. They are fighting for...
What is an assault weapon?
I don't know. That is still an ambiguous term. We've heard this over and over again from the left. We want an assault weapon ban, but there is no definition as to what is an assault weapon. It happens all the time. We hear people saying
are sharing guns not used for assault?
I don't know. They say they won't.
They're
use
assault knives.
They won't use semi and fully automatic. They will use assault weapon.
Well, we have a gun
style.
expert over here in the audience too. We can talk about guns.
We do. Is there a gun expert in the audience? Is there a gun expert?
Come on down.
All right, here comes a gun expert in the audience. He's coming on down. All right, so you are a gun expert. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Connor. You guys know me well.
Oh, I never heard of you or seen you before in my life. How about that? All right, Connor. Connor's got a brand new haircut, by the way. Connor,
I like it.
Who chopped up your hair?
Was
it Stevie Wonder? Who gave you a haircut? Did Stevie Wonder give you a haircut? Because you got, different things going on there.
It was done with assault scissors.
I love it. I'm messing around with you. All right, so now you are a gun enthusiast, I'll say.
Gun owner, gun enthusiast.
Gun enthusiast,
Proud
right?
NRA member.
Are you a proud NRA member?
Oh, of course.
All right. Vito, are you an NRA member?
Absolutely.
All right. So now you gentlemen here obviously know a little bit more about guns than we do because we are New Yorkers and we're not allowed to know anything about guns in this state. So explain this to me, Connor. What is an AR-15?
An AR-15 is I would say it's a rifle. That's the class I would put in. It's actually not a very strong rifle either.
It's a semi-automatic rifle, correct?
It has to be sold as a semi-automatic rifle.
All right.
You cannot sell an automatic AR-15 at all.
Okay.
Now, that's
Anyway.
my understanding. That you can make a gun semi-automatic, automatic, fully automatic. You can just play around with it and make it. You can change it to however you want.
Well, there's a black market for everything. You call a guy up that knows a guy.
You call a guy, you know a guy, go to a back alley.
And then your AR-15 shoots fully auto with a drum mag.
So you tell me that terrorists and people who are dedicated to doing this and criminals can easily get this done compared to regular citizens?
Absolutely. And it's not only those type of guns. Also, you can actually have a automatic pistol. You can have an automatic shotgun, which I know sounds ridiculous, but it can be any type of gun. It doesn't have to be the AR-15. And AR-15 actually doesn't even stand for assault rifle, if anybody's wondering. It's actually Armalite 15. So that's just one thing to throw out there. And those guns are only sold as semi-automatic weapons.
Right. And I see that's important to understand because a lot of the time what we hear about the assault weapons ban that they want to reinstate is that we just throw terms out there and see what sticks on the wall. We're throwing out, gun lobby. Yeah. We're throwing out terms like assault weapon.
The left makes up words all the time, like living wage,
political
correctness, assault rifle. Mm-hmm. All these different terms that they make up the words, the definitions to, and then they use and play around to fit their agenda and convince people that these are bad things or good things for whatever helps them out.
Right.
Like, you need a living wage. What is that? Like, yeah, I need that. They're right, I need that. Do you even know what it is?
Well, no, they don't. That's the funniest part. All right, so we had John Lewis, a Democrat from Georgia. He was the one that led the sit-in on gun controls. He is one of the most liberal members of the House of Representatives. Thanks, Con, for coming by. Lewis wanted Speaker Ryan, and Paul Ryan is going after them, saying to keep the House in session through its planned recess because he wanted to bring up the issue of gun legislation. In other words, now Congress, we all know, is going on a break. The 2-month break for Congress. I don't know where they go. They go to Aruba. They take their mistresses everywhere.
They're like students. They finish school. They're out until September. It's great. The government takes a 2-month break.
Right, and everyone made a big deal about Ted Cruz shutting down the government.
They take months off anyway.
Right, they take 2 months off anyway. You can make up the difference at the end of the year, but whatever. We'll talk about that at another time. Nonetheless, we have people going ahead here, and Representative Lewis wants to go ahead and keep the government open through its planned recess, and he wants to bring up gun legislation. This is what he said. Sometimes you have to do something out of the ordinary. Sometimes you have to make a way out of no way. We've been too quiet for too long. There comes a time when you have to say something, when you have to make a little noise, when you have to move your feet. This is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. The time to act is now. We will be silent no more. The time. He's got to shut up because it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand the time. What is it the time for? The time for tyranny? The time to strip away an American's right? Let me tell you something, Vito. These people, it bothers me because there is no central plan from the Republicans on stopping these people. It has been a constant attack every time there's a tragedy in this country to ban guns. Thank God we haven't seen anything progress really so far, but I'm giving it probably till the next election cycle, or after the presidential election rather, when these Republicans like Susan Collins and Lindsey Graham, who have switched sides, Jeff Flake, are all joining the Democrats. Yeah, and they are now joining the Democrats trying to get gun control legislation. It is, again, where is the cohesiveness, like on the Democrats? 100% down the line, they are not voting. They're not taking this issue anymore. They want gun control on the left. And pretty much everyone on the left is on their side. We have Republicans who are pretty much fugazi on this issue.
That's the problem, because the people we elect are rhinos, and they do always continually vote and work with the Democrats. So after all these tragedies, because a couple shootings, it's terrible. Chicago has murders every day. Okay? There's cities, there's Detroit, there's Chicago, there's all these different places in the country have shootings and murders and violent crime all the time. But then, oh no, California, look what happened, there's a terrorist attack, there's shooting. We have to ban guns.
And if
nothing gets done. Now the club in Orlando, all these different incidents they always call for it, and then nothing happens. But whatever legislation they want will not help. They don't understand. So they stay in this middle ground of some legislation, taking away the Second Amendment, all these different things they do. Never works, and then they want more thing that is going to help.
Right. And I guarantee you that if the people in Orlando, San Bernardino, if they had an easier way to access guns, law-abiding citizens had easier ways to access guns, these tragedies would not have happened. They just wouldn't have, because there would have been other people who were armed to stop the assailant, and I'm telling you now, the world would have been a better place. Mm-hmm. I want to bring up really the shocking factor that a lot of these Democrats who were in the sit-in, which is pretty much over, by the way. They've denounced it over as of Thursday, but they're saying that it was a sit-in. And it was pretty stupid because it was a big publicity stunt. And that's all it was a publicity stunt. What did they really accomplish?
It had a hashtag trending.
Of course.
You know why they had to leave? Because today's a congressional baseball game right now.
Well, yeah. All right,
so I can't sit in. I got to go play.
Well, we got to make that. I want to see Chris Christie again and those ridiculously tight baseball pants pulled up all the way to his nipples. Remember that?
Place.
Yeah.
Now he's at McDonald's picking up Donald Trump's lunch.
Exactly. That's what he's doing now. He must be good to be at the top. But anyway, so we have Chris Christie. We have Democrats saying that this had nothing to do with fundraising, had nothing to do with money. It had to do with the idea of stopping gun crimes. But sure enough, Democrats have sent out. Paul Ryan put a video up earlier in the week, should I say, saying how a lot of these stunts aren't going to stop Republicans, especially the leadership in the House, which I applaud them on this, from moving forward and acting on a gun control issue. They're not going to bring up this legislation. They don't want to, and they shouldn't. They're doing a right move right here. You cannot compromise the Second Amendment. Can you compromise the First, the Third, the Fourth, the Fifth, going on? You can't. You can probably compromise the 18th, but that's what I'm saying. You can't compromise an amendment to the Constitution. It doesn't work like that. You shouldn't be compromising the fundamental principles of a nation.
And it's the most specific amendment there is. Shall not be infringed.
Democrats are sending out emails today saying that if you want to stand with them, go ahead and donate $5, $10, $15, $25, write in whatever you want. And Paul Ryan basically blasted out Democrats rather, on this issue. Vito, we're back at this situation again, where Democrats are using a tragedy, politicizing it, and making a big deal out of it. I haven't seen Republicans getting up, screaming and yelling, saying, we need to... If anything, they've been very defensive in this whole gun control campaign. The ones that are promoting legislation are the Democrats.
The only time I see fundraising after a tragedy, it starts with the Democrats. Obama come on and make a speech and saying, let me be clear, we have to take away guns. Or something to that extent.
Well, he will never say that outright.
Okay, but you get the point, right? You see where I'm going with this?
If we had to paraphrase it.
If I have to interpret a few people. The Democrats want more gun control, and the NRA and the Republicans are at fault, and conservatives are evil. And then the NRA was sending an email saying, see what the Democrats are saying, we need your help to donate. That's the only time. Not, look at the shooting, you should have guns, donate now. The Democrats say, look at the shooting, we have to take away guns, conservatives are evil.
And that pretty much
and racist. And sexist. And homophobic.
Yes. We hate the gays.
And warmongers.
Muslims.
Everything.
Don't forget Islamophobe. That's important.
Oh, that's a big one. Don't forget that.
But, I mean, this is what we've seen over and over again. I have to applaud so far Speaker Ryan. One of the only things he's doing right
doing better than Boehner.
Is standing up for the GOP, standing up for America and protecting the Second Amendment. I think it's a damn good position to stand, and I hope he sticks on this issue. I don't think he could even waver on it. It would be political suicide.
Well,
honestly, I think it would be because you're
going
against
we see a lot of that happen.
You're going against one of the fundamental points here in the Republican platform, which is the Second Amendment. I mean, there is a stark contrast to be drawn here between Democrat and Republican, and ultimately this one, conservative and liberal. This point, the Second Amendment, is so important to I think every Republican standing, and I think that's going to be a big issue. I don't know, Vito. We will see how this unfolds, but I do find it to be incredibly ridiculous that Democrats are sitting on the House floor.
They had to sit in there for what, like 10 minutes? What was it?
They're there for the whole day, and then
a whole day.
There is a
video. They sat down for a whole day.
There's a video of Louis Gohmert, the awesome congressman, the awesome conservative congressman, who went down to the House floor and started screaming. And they were protesting. They're screaming and yelling. He goes down to the House floor. We're going to put it up on the website, www.vitoandvito.com, and on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. He goes down to the House floor. He looks all these Democrats in the eye, and they're screaming at him, no justice, no peace, whatever the hell they're talking about now. And they're singing Kumbaya, and they're screaming and yelling. And Louis Gohmert in his suit, and he's a badass doing it, pointing his finger saying, blame radical Islam, don't blame the guns. And he's 100% right. He was on Stuart Varney's show on Thursday morning, and he said to Stuart Varney, he says if they're going to be consistent, they might as well go out and ban pressure cookers. They might as well go out and ban planes and box cutters, because if you're just blaming the weapon, the guns were not used in Boston. They weren't used in 9/11. There is something that is tying together all these attacks, and that one thing is radical Islam. And I'm waiting for the President of the United States, Hillary Clinton, and every other Democrat to stand up and say those two words. They never will.
They can't say the words.
They don't want to say the words, and that's what blows my mind. They don't want to say radical Islam.
I believe
that's it.
Was it the French president or prime minister came to the United States and gave a speech, and he said radical Islam, but the White House censored those words.
Yes,
like he cursed on air.
Let's also not forget that the White House went. I don't know where the White House has the authority to go back in the tapes to go ahead look at Washington. Listen to me, Omar Mateen, the shooter. In the Orlando massacre, the White House went back into the audio tapes and started to take out the words radical Islam and Allah and pledging your support to ISIS. They took it out. They omitted it from the record. This is scary stuff going on with this administration. Not to mention that when Loretta Lynch was questioned earlier in the week, if we would ever find a reason for the massacre, a reason for the tragedy that happened at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. You know what Loretta Lynch said, Vito? You know what the Attorney General of the United States, from Brooklyn, from where we are, you know what she said?
I don't give a crap. What'd she say?
You know what she said? She turns around, she says, we may never know why the killer did what he did. I mean, the stupidity baffles me. Either these people are just that dumb in the White House, or honestly, they are just trying to censor the facts. That's really what it is.
Because they're evil.
They're evil.
Or they're dumb.
That's what I think.
And they're both terrible.
Well,
people's stupidity is going to get us killed. People's, some people say that, they're Islamic sympathizers, devil worshippers, whatever.
I don't know.
It's dangerous.
It's absurd. Again, I will pinpoint this fact. We're going to break, and when we return, we're going to talk more about what's going on in the world. We're going to talk about Brexit. We're going to talk about Britain trying to get away. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court. But when we come, I want to leave you with this note before we go to break. Please explain to me why every Muslim country, every self-identified Muslim country has aspects of a terrible system of law called Sharia law in place. Whether it's in the United Arab Emirates, which is it's widespread, but it's relatively small as compared to the severity that it is in Saudi Arabia or Iran or Afghanistan. Explain to me why Muslims across the world are so pent up on Sharia law, and why do they want to institute a caliphate? Why is it even in their holy book of the Quran? If somebody can answer that question, give us a call, because we want to hear your answer. Don't go anywhere. The Vito and Vito Show coming back. Supreme Court coming up next. The Vito and Vito Show. Stay tuned.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org. Brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
We are back here at the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
And I'm still Vito.
And you're still Vito. I hope so. You're still Vito.
Yep.
I wouldn't want you to be anybody else.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yep.
Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. Two college millennial conservatives, libertarian, also having a conversation about what's going on in the world. Just speaking with some members here in the audience today, because we have a packed house, Vito. It's unbelievable. People lining up. I want to see Donald Trump try to get as many people as we do here. But, we were having a conversation about guns, and somebody asked me, well, what's the alternative? Democrats have put forth the plan that says, well, we'll take the guns away, and that should pretty much solve a lot of the problems. So what's the Republicans' answer? How do you stop the mass shootings? And I think the best answer they can go with is if you give people, law-abiding citizens, the ability to have a gun, they're best off to defend themselves. And the evidence is pretty clear, as in Texas. The evidence is pretty clear, as in other conservative states. And you see lower crime rates and lower murder rates.
And this
as
is
opposed to Chicago and other.
And this is why this country is so great. This is why the founding fathers are geniuses. Because after the First Amendment, they thought of the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, that solved this issue.
Right.
That solved many issues around this country. It says a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Mm-hmm.
Shall not. That means you can't do it. So any gun control regulation is unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So
From
you
the federal
can't do
government.
it. Now, yes, from the federal government. So now we can discuss if it will work or not work. Because we know the federal government can't do it. So you have to break down each piece by piece. So you can't, well, the federal government should do it. Well, they can't. So you can't argue that. It's against the law.
Fun stuff. Carry it over to our social media at Vito and Vito Show, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our website, www.vitoandvito.com. All right, Vito, Supreme Court of the United States today, it came down with a very big ruling. As June is, a lot of time all the rulings come out. And we all know that Justice Scalia has passed away. Unfortunately, he is one of the greatest justices of our time, Anthony Scalia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Scalia passed away earlier, and that leaves a hole in the court. So we have 8 justices instead of 9. So what do we do when there's a split in the Supreme Court? The lower court's ruling stands as opposed to anything by the Supreme Court. And we don't know who voted for what. We don't know what justice voted for, affirming the decision, for dissenting on the opinion. And the decision. So we wouldn't know. It just says that it's tied. So pretty much the Supreme Court of the United States today blocks Obama's immigration plan. That was the DAPA and DACA issues, which says that through executive order, don't know where he finds this in the Constitution, by the way.
Because he didn't.
Just to refresh people's memory, through executive order, the president is able to turn around and give amnesty, pretty much, and security to a bunch of illegal immigrants living in the country. A lot of them children not breaking up families, as he says, etc., etc. And that went ahead. That died today. The lower courts are saying it's not going to work. The issue here today, where does a lot of those people, those illegal immigrants, came out of the woodwork? And I know illegal immigrant isn't politically correct, so I'll use
Illegals.
the term
Aliens.
Undocumented. Is that even? That might be offensive, isn't it? I heard some people say undocumented.
Everything's offensive, Vito.
I don't know. Whatever. So these illegal immigrants, these lawbreakers who have crossed over the border without following U.S. laws, and then want to be protected under U.S. law. So go find the contradiction in that. But nonetheless, we have a lot of these people who came out of the woodwork, signed up for these programs, and now their names are on lists in the federal government. The question is ICE, the immigration services, are they going to go after these people? We already have a good chunk of illegal immigrants who have come out of the woodwork. Why don't we just go after them and deport them and follow the law as it is currently written?
She tell me we have the information.
The information is there. You know how many times people say, we have estimated 11 million illegal immigrants, 12 million estimated illegal immigrants in the country. Well, if we have these numbers, we got to somehow have where these people are living.
He's just taking my argument.
That was what you said, and pretty much this is affirmed by what President Obama did. So he gave law enforcement a gift. We'll see if he's going to follow through. I don't understand, Vito. I'm really at a loss at what's going on here.
Deport them. Follow the law.
Well, the law as currently written, and I think this is one of the biggest issues, is that a lot of the time the Democrats and Obama and the left, they're going to take what we see as the law, which pretty much says right now illegal immigrants have to be deported, and if they don't like it, they'll just twist the law. They'll use what we call an executive order, which pretty much means the president can just write whatever he wants, change the laws at his whims. It has become that. It really was never like that. But that's what it will become, and unfortunately it will lead to a slippery slope of tyrannical power at the hands of the government. We've already seen expansions of the executive power, which is unbelievable, which our founders would have never really gotten a grasp around.
The United States has been expanding its power, the federal government. For every single generation, every single presidency has been expanding. Now, think about this. I've spoken about this a couple times on the show. The Civil War started because the federal government was putting certain laws that restricted the southern states about slavery. Certain laws were dealing with slavery, which technically was an overreach from the federal government. that started a civil war. Today, we have so much overreach, so many unconstitutional executive orders. They're going after the Second Amendment, and the federal government is completely out of control. So, if what was happening today happened back in the 1800s, there would have been a civil war.
Well, I think that's a plausible decision or argument.
Do you imagine if the federal government was going after the Second Amendment years ago?
Oh, I mean, it would have been tyrannical. It would have been over.
Yeah, but so why aren't we doing anything now? You know, the other states succeeded and started a civil war against the federal government.
I'm not advocating for this.
I am.
All right, God bless you. Let's talk about this.
How are you going to get your rights back?
Hillary Clinton went ahead and tweeted this out. Easy, Vito. Take it easy. Hillary Clinton turns around. Vito's already gung-ho ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
All right, so as Vito sits there and oils up his guns, I'll go ahead and read Hillary Clinton's tweets because I'm sure that'll impact the world. Hillary Clinton said, today's heartbreaking Supreme Court of the United States immigration ruling can tear apart 5 million families facing deportation. We must do better. Signed, H. When she signs a tweet with an H, that means she wrote it, Vito.
Really?
So that means one of the robots that work with her didn't type out this tweet. It wasn't an algorithm placed into the Twitter machine. It was actually Hillary Clinton's real-life human finger. Can you believe that?
I still think she's lying about that.
She
might
be.
Her own email.
She might be. You know what? I don't know. Maybe this could have been a deleted tweet. Who knows? I'm sure there's one that shows that she hates illegals and she wants to deport.
Nah, you go back a couple years ago to tweets. It's like, how do I delete emails?
I want to go in his search history.
History.
That's what we should do.
Bill and Monica porn? What?
Donald Trump tweeted out, the Supreme Court has kept us safe from executive amnesty for now, but Hillary has pledged to expand it, taking jobs from Hispanic and African-American workers, which is 100% right, by the way. A lot of the times illegal immigrants come in, they take jobs that people say Americans don't want, but it really leaves the American worker having to struggle and compete with somebody who doesn't have to deal with taxes, someone who doesn't have to deal with regulatory issues, because illegals don't need a check, so you don't have to get on payroll taxes, etc.
Right, and the whole big thing is because
the American worker does.
The minimum wage, because minimum wage means you have to have a living wage, which means if you are working at McDonald's, you obviously deserve to be making enough money to support the 7 kids you have. Which, I'm being sarcastic.
I mean, yeah, you got a point about that. Hey, I got one here for Hillary's search history. You ready for this? You ready? How to keep a man. How does that? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Pantsuits.org.
Pantsuits.org. There
Stain
you go.
removers.
You're on fire. You're just too funny. All right. So Supreme Court now 5 million illegals came out of the woodwork, and they're the ones that said that
Good.
This is,
they're
the ones that signed up for this. They're the ones that signed up for this program.
If you tell me what happened, you won't get in trouble. I promise.
You know what I want to do, and you know what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and try to look up as fast as I can. I should have done this before the show, but now that we're talking about it. 5 million illegal immigrants came out of the woodwork and applied for a program that the president is talking about. I want to see how many illegals were apprehended at the border since President Obama talked about his plan of DACA and DAPA, and I want to see if that number increased, because if the president is saying we're going to give out free amnesty, you can bet your behind that illegal immigrants are flooding the U.S. for an opportunity to be a part of this program and to claim citizenship on the basis of amnesty. So I'm dying to know just what the numbers are. As I do that, Vito, why don't you rail about illegal immigration?
You want me to talk about illegal immigration right now?
Talk about something. I don't know. Play with yourself. Do something. Just occupy some time here.
Well, what I wanted to look up was a Sarah Silverman tweet. You guys know Sarah Silverman? No? Okay.
She's a politically correct comedian. Do you know that?
Really?
That's what she said.
You mean she's not funny?
She means, yeah, I don't find that funny. She says political correctness is a great thing. We need that. College kids are right. We need to get more politically correct, and that means we need
What's
to
a
kill
politically correct joke?
Oh, I don't know. How do you go about that?
I don't know. She's not funny.
You can't say a priest and a rabbi walk into a bar. I'm sure you're going to piss somebody off, so what do you say?
Oh, please, you piss somebody off when you make any joke.
An androgynous man who obeys the Christian faith walks into a bar along
That's
with
still offensive.
That's still offensive? Why is that offensive?
Because I'm a David Bowie fan.
That's right. What about the bar? You're right.
I'm a
No, what
drinker.
about the bar? How do we know?
I'm a drunk.
You're right. Oh, no.
What's wrong with going in a bar?
Anyway, what about Sarah Silverman? Get to the
She
point.
tweeted something out. How you have to... I want to find the tweet, but you decided to look something up. How we have to stop blaming all Muslims, because only some of them, or percentage of them, are radical Islamic terrorists, which
It has
makes
nothing
sense.
to do with immigration. What does this have to do with immigration?
It doesn't. I'm bringing some point up. Relax. And then she pointed out how... I guess she tried to make a joke, how, all serial killers are white. which sparked a lot of controversy on the Twitter world, which some would say was racist, some would say was not politically correct. I don't know how that's politically correct. She wasn't funny, but I just want to say she's an idiot. I don't like her. I just want to use this time on air to say I do not like Sarah
You
Silverman.
got that out of your system?
I just wanted to bring it up.
I'm just ecstatic.
It was on my chest, you know?
You got, all right, good. So you got that out of your system.
Yeah,
and now
because
you
you're
can't
reading
say
Hillary
something.
Clinton's tweets. I want to, look up somebody else's idiot's tweets.
Anyway,
there's a lot of stupid stuff on Twitter. You should check it out. And while you're checking it out, follow @Vito and Vito Show. You like that plug?
Then. Nice, Vito. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Anyway, let's take a look here. Yes, indeed, numbers have gone up. Let's see here. As we're looking, I just lost my. There we go. The U.S. immigration population stood at more than 42.4 million, or 13% of the total U.S. population. And as a result of DACA, what happened was that a lot more immigrants were apprehended at the border because of what was going on. The president saying we're going to give amnesty to illegals. So this is not a brand new thing, Vito. This has been going on for a very long time. When you have illegal immigrants flooding the population, they are flooding states. They're flooding specifically a lot of the southern states, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, and they are pretty much committing crimes. We've seen what happened with Kate Steinle, etc. And I think it should send shockwaves through the country right now. And a lot of the states in the South were the ones that went ahead and started to attack the president's executive amnesty plan, not just for the overreach, but for the impact it would have on their individual states. So I think what we need to do is, and this is where we're going to get into a fight, I think we need to elect Donald Trump to build a wall and to stop the flow of illegal immigrations in this country, plus deport all the illegals that are currently in this country because of their lack of paying income taxes, the lack of paying for services, and unfortunately mooching off a system that they never even contributed to in the first place.
I support all of that except electing Donald Trump.
And what the hell do you intend? How do you intend on making this thing a plausible reality?
Donald Trump is the only one who can build the wall.
Well, who else is going to do it? Hillary Clinton sure as hell ain't going to do it.
No.
Gary Johnson said he's not going to do it. Which, by the way, Gary Johnson and the Libertarian ticket, which is pretty cool. Their first town hall yesterday on CNN, earlier in the week, should I say.
Which is pretty cool. The only thing I did not like was the VP candidate, Bill Med, I think his name was.
Okay.
He said that they had...
You don't even know your own ticket that you're going to be voting for.
It's Med, okay? I know
Sure.
the guy. He was governor of Maine in the 90s, okay? I know all about him. So Gary
Oh,
Johnson,
yeah,
they asked
he's a-
Gary Johnson, who'd you vote for between Hillary and Trump? He said, neither. Which makes sense because he'll vote for himself, all right?
Uh-huh.
Just like I might.
You're going to vote for? You're going to write your name in?
I might,
Again, I don't see what the Never Trump crowd gets out of this.
Gary.
Okay.
Libertarian Party,
Mhm.
okay?
William Weld. So.
Told you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bill.
Former Massachusetts governor. He was not from Maine, Massachusetts.
Sure.
It's all right. Just making sure the facts stand up to the facts.
That's right,
Go ahead.
because everyone knows Libertarian candidates.
Well, they're gaining a lot of momentum. They were on CNN.
Yeah,
having a
they're up
town
to
hall.
9%.
And it's pretty cool that that third option that everyone keeps talking about is pretty much in your face. So, but again, he's not going to be enough to put together a
right. They're around 9-10%.
contested.
They get to 15. They get on the debate stage with Trump and Hillary, which was amazing to watch. But Wed did say he would rather vote for Hillary than Trump, which I did not like. So, I am searching for another candidate who I like, who I might vote for. I might write in Ted Cruz.
Oh, but what are you getting
I might
at
vote in
is-
Rand Paul.
You could write in Mickey Mouse for all I care.
He does
it
get a lot of votes
doesn't
every year.
solve anything. All you're doing is putting in a vote. You're throwing away a vote that could be used to stop Hillary. What's so wrong
Why didn't
with
we do
stopping
this
Hillary?
with Romney and McCain to stop Obama?
Romney and McCain suck, and I think there's more.
Donald Trump is the second coming.
Donald Trump has spoken about building a wall. Donald Trump is the same guy that's held a position on Islam that no other presidential candidate in the history of this country has stood on. So I don't see how Donald Trump is this worst thing that's about to hit the Republican Party. If anything, he's grown it tenfold. Look at the primary numbers. He's won more
Getting
in
Democrats to vote open primaries is not growing it.
He's won more in open primary states. He's crushed Republicans in closed primary states. This man, if
not
anything,
crushed them.
what do you mean? He's been growing the Republican Party. This is the guy right now I think we should get behind. 2020, get your boy
Yeah,
Ted.
but what
He's my boy too. I
Republicans?
love Ted. Get Ted back in 2020. Right now it's over. I keep seeing Never Trump, which is mostly Cruz people. Which as a former Cruz guy, I'm sort of just perplexed at the fact that what are you really accomplishing with a guy like Ted? He doesn't want it. If he did, he'd still be in the race. He does not want it. He's gone.
No,
he's
because
over.
it's over because he clinched. And plus, he's suspending his campaign. He's not completely out. Suspended it. Donald
Oh,
Trump.
come on. Everybody suspends their campaign.
Yeah,
Ron
so?
Paul suspended his campaign. He wasn't getting back in the race.
Okay, but Donald Trump did it. Clinched the nomination. So what do you want Ted Cruz to do? If Ted Cruz really wanted it, he would still be in, you're saying?
Of course he would. He'd
But that
still
doesn't
be
make
fighting.
sense.
He'd still be out there campaigning. He's been out of the public spotlight, and that's unfortunate.
Because Trump clinched. It's done.
It's done. So get behind the nominee and vote for
Why?
Donald Trump
I
because
don't
we're
like
going to
him.
build a wall. Then I don't know what you
Because we're
want.
going to build a wall.
I don't know what you
if
want.
the Republicans can nominate anybody? So I got to fall in line?
I don't.
It's better than Hillary.
So tell me this, Vito. At the end of the day, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, you say never, never. If never Trump has their way, Hillary becomes president, and we got 4 years of a corrupt, lying
never
animal
Trump.
in office.
I'm not saying to elect Hillary. I'm saying my vote is not going to Donald Trump.
Your vote not going to Donald Trump actually helps Hillary Clinton, but we'll have more of a conversation about this. Give us a follow, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and tweet us your thoughts, Facebook us, whatever the hell you do on Instagram. Send it to us, too. We're going to break. Visit the website, www.vitoandvito.com, by the way, and inform us on that. We're going to break. When we return, forget about a moments of the week. Don't go anywhere. The Vito and Vito Show when we return right after this.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
Your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org, brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm
don't
and
ignore
keep to the
this
plan.
message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org, brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back here on the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Give us a follow at Vito and Vito Show. And Vito, it's that time of the week again.
That time of the week again. Forget about it. Moments of the week.
Forget about it?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Oh, forget about it.
Forget about it. Moments of the week here on the Vito and Vito Show. We break down some of the craziest moments on the pro. Hey, we got a guest. He's back. He won't go away, Vito.
Never.
No, he won't go away. No. I tried throwing salt at him. It don't work. All right, Connor's back, and we're going to forget about it moments. What do we got, Vito?
Wait for the first one. An ex-NFL player named Stanley Wilson. He got shot breaking into a man's house while naked.
He's a what? What?
Ex-NFL player.
That's embarrassing. Because you probably made millions upon millions of dollars for tackling big, sweaty men.
Nice.
And you made billions of dollars, and now you're throwing it all away to break into some guy's house.
I'm going to
naked.
take a wild guess and say he was intoxicated.
You think he was intoxicated? Connor, what do you think? He swung that way?
I think he was trying to go back to his roots, but he wanted to be naked this time. He couldn't do it on TV, so he's trying to do it,
All right, I see. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say he blew all his money on coke and hookers, and that ultimately led to his downfall. Which happens to a lot of us. It actually happens to a lot of... It happened to me 3 times, Vito. That happened to me 3 times.
Getting shot while naked?
No. Blowing all my money on coke and hookers.
We have Lindsay, and she said that it's from all the concussions that he went through. He went crazy.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's completely different. Now I take back everything I just said. Okay. Because you know what? The NFL actually sucks.
Is that true?
Is that true? Wow,
No,
okay.
for this case, though. Okay, good.
Oh, you don't even know. Forget it. No, it's not even true. Okay, whatever. So he probably did blow it all on coke and hookers. Like me, 3 times. Okay?
I don't really read the article. Just take the headlines.
That's stupid, because there's probably a lot of context within the details, and you're just, pissing this away.
No,
and I have a feeling someone's going to email the show, and they're going to be like, you bastards hate people with, illnesses
He
or
had
something.
problems. I don't know, because I don't see if I read it.
You should stop talking.
Oh, man,
you telling me that you
listen to
don't read the articles is just hurting the credibility of everything.
If I read it and it turns out he had a problem, I can't really make jokes about it. But if I don't read it, I can still make jokes. And if I get caught, I can say I didn't know, I didn't read it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So you look like an idiot either way.
But
you look like an idiot because you didn't read it.
But
You look like
I'm
an idiot because you're talking about it.
Okay, listen, he was naked and got shot.
That's true. There's gotta be look, I don't know any people with concussions that are going around naked.
Your head hurts. You're not breaking into a house in the middle of the night getting shot while you're naked. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. You want to play a game?
Sure.
All right, Connor, how big was your schlong? Go ahead. What do you got?
Excuse me?
He was naked. Might as well bring it up.
What?
How big was your schlong? What do you think?
The guy.
Put it like this. Is it small? Is it small enough that he could pass on to go into the women's bathroom? Yes or no?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so? Vito? Maybe that's why he
couldn't
did it.
slip in through the door. That's why he had to break it.
Maybe. So you're saying that he was a big fella?
He's an ex-NFL player named Stanley Wilson. I'm assuming he's black.
Whoa.
There's no need to make that assumption, Vito. He was a kicker. Okay?
Yeah,
he was an Asian kicker. That's messed up.
Search him up, I guarantee.
Let's look it up. All right, so
African
Stanley
American.
Wilson, what do we got here? No, he's a big man. He was a running back.
Black.
He's 209 pounds. And
what team did he play for?
He's a big man. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm.
Yep. So he was a big boy. All right, let's move on now because this is getting ridiculous. What do we got?
In Salt Lake City, Utah, they have a dog in the police department called Earl that detects child porn. They trained the dog to smell certain,
wait. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt.
Me too.
I really hate to interrupt, but I gotta clarify this because Stanley Wilson's actually a really good football player. It's his son. I know. Former Detroit Lions cornerback Stanley Wilson II was charged on multiple counts.
Oh,
you know that?
Get that right. It was the son.
Yeah, gotta make that sure. Because the pop's like a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. Dad's big. He might come and break our legs. The son's really got nothing to worry about right now. He's behind bars. But go ahead, Vito. There's a dog that sniffs out child porn. Go ahead, let's hear it. There's a dog that sniffs out child porn. What do you got?
Yeah, apparently the dog can detect certain electronics that they use in child porn. I don't know. But basically, it smells child porn. They break into your house. You're watching child porn with your pants and lotion out, and you get arrested.
That's ridiculous.
All right.
First of all, I have one thing right now. If you
do not make a confession on the show,
no,
I do not want to hear anything.
If you're like Jared from Subway, you're some sick child molesting animal. You deserve to be thrown in jail. I'd even put you in Guantanamo Bay. You should lose your citizenship. Anybody that assaults a child, period, end of story. Any rapist should be put in jail for life. Period, end of story. Who disagrees with me on that? Going once, going twice, and that's the law of the land. Just like the Democrats, I'll go ahead. I will write an exevective order, and I will pass that into the law. You disagree?
Yes.
Why?
He should be killed.
That's a good idea. You know what? I will revise I'll revise the motion. I'll revise the motion. I mean, that's ridiculous.
They didn't rape them. They're just watching kiddie porn.
That's even worse because those poor kids at some point.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's ridiculous. But you know what? You know what I think is pretty stupid though, and I got to clarify this. We see this a lot, like 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds. They wind up this new phenomenon called sexting. You ever heard of that, Vito?
No.
You send dirty photos over text message?
I have
or...
virgin ears, Connor.
Oh, my.
Wait, wasn't it like Nude Day like a couple weeks ago?
You send a nude day?
Yeah.
I got like 6 of Vito. I did not want them. Yeah, trust me, I know
I
about
thought
it.
you typed in different numbers.
I got the same photo over and over again.
Vito,
You hanging upside down on the chandelier with the leather, everything. I didn't want it, but it was all on my phone. And it will be at www.vitoandvito.com.
Don't do that, because they'll never come to the website. Now that explains it.
We're going to pick up a whole different crowd, with that line right there.
Wonderful.
It's all right.
Happy Gay Pride Month.
I have a question. How do you sniff out something like? How do you?
Well, that's why these
how do you
dogs are
even do
amazing.
that?
There's like certain chemicals probably in these electronics that
What, a computer?
Yeah,
A camera?
like
What?
in the storage when they hold the child porn, something gives it away. I don't know how good it is. I don't know. I don't think the dogs walk around the neighborhood like, that guy got kitty porn in his house. It's probably like they got a lead on it. They bring the dog wherever they gotta go, and they sniff it when it's nearby. If you're walking around and you got kitty porn on your phone, I don't know where to get kitty porn. And by the way, do not Google that up, how to find kitty porn or any of that, because you'll probably get arrested.
Thanks for the tip, pal. Is that real life? Is that real life experience?
No.
No, with the laugh. You're sick.
No,
man.
because
This is sick. Like, I got making jokes about the guy who was naked and concussions, but now we're talking kid porn.
You go to
This
the
is
kitty
sick.
porn. No, I'm sorry. You go on porn. I'm going to get in trouble. You go on the porn and says, "Oh, you're 17 years or older in this state," and and everything has to be 18. And it's her 18th birthday.
Let me get to that. But let me get to this point here, because it bothers me. You got like this. Yeah, you got kids out there. They're sending dirty pictures of each other, their friends or whatever.
They're of age.
And they're 16 and 17 years old. And you have like a kid who's 17 years old getting a text from another 17-year-old, a nude picture, and they can go to jail on child porn. You believe that?
That's ridiculous.
That happens a lot. I think that's crazy.
Listen, I get it. You got a 10-year-old kid doing pornos with some dirty old bastard. That's a little different.
Of course.
But you got two 17-year-old kids who are in like high school. Like, hey, you want to do something in the bathroom during recess? That's completely different.
It's high school, not elementary school. I don't think they...
17 years old.
They have recess in high school?
Yeah, you got a free period, and you have to lunch between chemistry. You didn't have free periods? No, you got like a...
No, I was in jail for the past
That's
20
great.
years. Yeah, no, I have been...
After chemistry class, you want to shag in my dad's van before we go to work?
I don't know what year you're living in. I have no idea what year you're living in. You want to shag in the Volkswagen.
The point is, you shouldn't be going to jail for kitty porn. You're 16, 17 years old. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. I think like
you're 13,
I think every
and
case,
a 40-year-old.
every case is different. You have like a 16-year-old, and like it was consensual, and the kid sent it. I don't see how that's like out of control. A kid's gonna make stupid mistakes, but at the same time, like you're charging the other kid, and the kid who sent the photos is off scot-free. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, what if she sends the photo to me and I get in trouble?
Right, that would happen.
Yeah, but it's not fair. My phone accepts every message. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Well, I don't know.
And that's not fair. That bait? Come on. Look at these. And you get in trouble.
I think, though, if you have like a 30-year-old man and you have like a 25-year-old guy looking at 16 or 15, 13, some as young as 11,
if
it's
you're
sick.
18, some 16-year-olds look 20. It's close.
Something in the middle. Go to the next subject. Get out this topic because we have the police outside, so we want to hurry this up.
The Democrats held a sit-in. We were talking about this before this last. Forget about it because the Democrats decided to get things done by getting nothing done.
Well, they probably raise a whole lot of money in their endeavors.
Oh, great!
Right?
Because they get paid to sit on their arses.
Yes, just like every other member of Congress.
Just like us.
Just like us.
Yeah, except my
we
chair
get paid
broke.
to do
I've been
this.
standing the whole time. My back hurts.
Your back hurts?
Yeah.
That poor thing. Yep, it happens. But I gotta say, Vito, the Democrats did raise a lot of money. I don't know what they accomplished, but they certainly caused a firestorm. We will see where this goes. Listen, we want to thank you, the good viewers at home, or anywhere you are in the car. We know we're in terrestrial radio. Thank you for listening to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yes. What's the problem?
You ending the show?
Yeah, we're ending the show, Vito.
How much time do we have?
We got enough time.
So
and
let's
they say
talk
my
for a
goodbyes.
second.
What do you want to
Say
talk about?
goodbyes. What goodbyes is it? With like Italian family, it takes 20 minutes to say goodbye.
What? Go ahead,
Right.
Guy.
We have the Quran quote of the week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
My
it's
God.
your favorite part.
My
We're
God.
gonna come up with a nice little graphic of Muhammad doing something dirty to somebody, and we're gonna blast it around. And
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna come up with a thing for this next week. But go ahead. What is the?
this is it.
Go
This is
ahead.
the religion of peace.
The religion of peace.
Ready? This quote.
The religion of
from the Quran-
pieces. The religion of pieces. Go ahead.
Yes. This quote is about love. Ready? So Allah said, this is from
In honor of Gay Pride Month. Go ahead,
yes.
Vito. I'm dying to hear this.
Chapter 2, verse 191 to 193. And kill them wherever you find them, and turn them out from where they have turned you out. And disbelief and unrest is worse than killing.
And that's a book that's absolutely beautiful. Again, I reiterate this point again. Find me why all the Muslim countries, seriously, why a lot of them, all of them actually have Sharia law in place. Different severities of it, but there's still Sharia law. And you mean to tell me that radical Islam has nothing to do with this? It's not even a major plank in the religion? It certainly is, and we have to see some reformation in Islam if we're going to go ahead and live with this, because otherwise these attacks will keep coming on and on. www.vitoandvito.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @Vito and Vito Show. We're signing off in Brooklyn.
It's nothing but the truth.